fix that?
So, as of now, and I apologize, I think it was on the PowerPoint, but I forgot to say at the very start, as of now, all of the courses, the entry level and audition-based classes are academic credit, with the one exception of, as the structure stands now, if students participate in marching band and they're also in symphonic band, the upper level band course, they do get an honors credit. And that's the only way that they can get an honors credit from an ensemble. This was an effort to make the honors level work more about the rigor of the course itself and normalize it across orchestra, choir, and band, and less, in my opinion, I think marching band it's a great activity for them to do, but I think the merit of doing that activity stands in and of itself. And we wanted to have the honors credit be normalized across all of us and give them opportunities in courses that are more representative of an honors level work rather than marching band participation.
This is exciting, and congratulations on the finish.
No, thank you.
In percussion, you guys were first place in percussion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fourth place.
Fourth place overall in our division.
But it was the highest score that you had all season, right?
Correct. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we also need to congratulate the orchestras. The Bucks County Art Expo was last week, which is where all 13 school districts come together to kind of celebrate both the performing and the visual arts. So we had lots of students who created artwork, but we also had students who were performing artwork live. And so we had 2 string ensembles there, the Central Quartet as well as the Chamber Orchestra, and they both were fabulous and represented Penn very well, so thank you for that as well. I'm excited by these proposals. I just want to thank you because I do know, because I've been part of the reason they went back and forth multiple times in terms of that, so just public outing myself there. But the fact that you are allowing for student choice, right, and also giving them that career exploration, right, and as people have an opportunity to interact with the handout they gave to take a look at the career pathways and some of the topics that they'll be encouraging students to dig into, these are students who obviously have interest in music even if that's not going to be their career. And so to have a Genius Hour opportunity to be able to explore something in more depth, I think is just so strong and powerful for our kids. I have one question that I'm not sure I caught it the first time I read through the materials. So if I'm a junior, well, I guess I better be a sophomore because I know senior year gets a little wonky with the 3 points for this project. If I'm a sophomore and I try out for county band,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a junior, do I get a point for trying out for county band again, or must it be a new, because it's different audition music, it's different, or do I have to have a different experience to get my point?
Because there is a little bit of an overlap, if you try out, and the reason we have multiple contracts is you would not get a point again for trying out for county band. Our hope is that this encourages students to go beyond. So, for example, if you are a junior heading in and you try out for county band but you don't quite make it, one of those contract points is preparing and taking all of that extra time to prepare the audition material, and the hope is because you took that, another year of experience, your senior year you make it. So you wouldn't get a contract point for auditioning, but now you have the opportunity of getting a contract point for making it and moving beyond that level.
Great, thank you.
So I heard that you had that score was the highest ever. Is that true? Is
No.
that historically? Okay.
I don't think that was true. I don't know
Just
that.
checking.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Or? If not, we're going to move it forward.
Motion. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all.
Next up is the summer program summary.
Okay, I have those.
Well done.
Alright, so good evening everyone. I have a 3-year summary of summer school, elementary summer school, secondary summer school, and our band camp, strings, and our musical theater camp. I also added camp convention. You'll see, thank you. Good. So you'll see that there's very little change over the 3-year period. I have gathered this information so that you can see that we, in terms of enrollment and the costs, we are asking that all of the camps run again this coming summer at the same cost. We are not asking for any increase in costs for any of those. You can see where the difference is between the revenue versus the expenses. In terms of, the money goes back into the fund balance if there is funds left over. And then in terms of the string band and the musical camps, that also, you can see the totals at the bottom, and we still always come out in black. We also run we don't run Camp Invention. Camp Invention is housed here. We have facilities at Central Middle School, and we'd like to continue offering that camp. At this point, there is no change in any costs across the board, and we're not asking for any additional camps. Anybody have any questions, or? Good, so people to move forward and run them again this summer? Thank you, Mrs. Cohen. Thank you, everyone. Do we see the next one? And I have the happy moment here to talk about Penn Community Education Foundation grant awards. So I would like to announce that Tiffany Bates from Seiler Elementary School, EDU Breakout, she is one of our recipients. Laura Crawley from Bedminster Elementary School for the Legos. Susie Showalter, Kate Shelley from West Rockville, making IEP goals fun with robotics. Peg Volak from Bedminster has orders magnets. Kristen Otto from Sellersville has flexible seating. Lori Peterson and Megan McGovern from Bedminster, enhancement for Bedminster Full Steam Ahead Club, so it's a club for STEAM. Stephanie Schultz at Central Middle, All School Community Service Day. She asked for transportation, for funding for transportation, which was a magnificent day for Central Middle School, so we applaud them as well. Justin Barry and Meg Rhyme at the high school. Justin for the interactive periodic table, which I think is really cool. You take a look at that, it's really cool. And Meg Rhyme has stations for Penridge Nursery School. And we have asked all of the recipients to attend the board meeting, where they will be honored for their attendance.
Wow. So that's $6,664.44 being awarded by PCF, which is, that's a pretty good total for them.
We are so grateful, so thank you.
And it's just wonderful to keep in mind, this is a completely volunteer organization that exists solely to give back to our schools and our classrooms. This is one of the most tangible ways that they do that. These grants have been increasing. The number of schools that have applied have been increasing. Right? It's exciting that we have schools from every level. 9 of the 11 schools had a grant application. And so obviously you don't see the ones that did, but it was competitive in terms of who received it. So it's just wonderful that the word is out there. I think it just, as you look at the list of the project and just the wonderful opportunities that our students will have that enhance the curriculum for that, and it's just wonderful to think through that. So we'll get a chance to thank them publicly on Monday night, but it's just always exciting to see that process happen. So,
I will tell you that we send out a message to those who applied and didn't receive the grants, and it's always, okay, we understand that, but we're gonna keep on trying. So everybody's excited about that, and we are really appreciative. Thank you.
The next item is a cheerleading trip item appearing on the.
Cheerleading trip? Oh, no one's here for the cheerleading trip. Listen, late. Do we want to go to the thespian just in case?
Sure.
Just for I know, because you've been waiting.
Oh, I'm not gonna know how to move anything. Hi, everybody, this is.
Representing the thespian.
Yeah, I know, right? I should be more comfortable in front of an audience, but I usually hang out backstage, so this is really weird for me. Hi to everyone, my name is Felicia Borghi. I am the theater liaison, taking over for Sally Vogel, who retired last year. So this is my first time ever doing this, so please forgive me for not knowing what the heck I'm doing. But we're presenting to go to the Thespian Conference again this year. It's something that we've done since 2001, so this is something the students really look forward to getting to go to. It is an overnight event. It's held by the Educational Theater Association and International Thespian Society. This year we'll be going up to York College. Usually it was at York High School. This is actually, we're going to be going up to the college while the college is closed, which is really fantastic for us because we're going to have an entire, the facilities to ourselves, which is a lovely thing when we get to be more spread out, and we're quite excited about that as kids are forgoing. We'll be, we would leave Thursday halfway through the day, and we go Thursday night, we stay Friday night, we stay at the same hotel that we've stayed at for numerous years. And when we arrive to the college there, when we go, it is a wonderful opportunity. The children get to go to workshops, we get to see performances of all different types from different theater communities in Pennsylvania, high schools. So it's a lot of their contemporaries together, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience that they get to be part of. We have about 44 students, I think, that are signed up to go this year with 4 chaperones, so we'll have a 11-to-1 ratio of kids to parents. Nancy Markloff, who is our fall play director this year, is going, myself, and then 2 parents, 2 moms that have gone with us before. I think I said the college is not in session at that time, so the kids themselves will miss half a day on Thursday and a full day Friday. They know that they're responsible for any work missed. I check their grades to make sure that everything is kind of up to par with where they're supposed to be and they're doing what they need to be doing in order to go to the trip. And it's a wonderful opportunity for them to really be immersed in the culture of theater in all different aspects. I didn't know I would have made more copies, but I do have, we have workshop offerings just came out actually over the weekend with all the different, 40, oh my goodness, 43 different workshops that they can sign up to be a part of, from anywhere from acting to costuming to set design to, so it's not just acting, it's the whole repertoire. And yeah, and we get to see, I believe, there's an opportunity to see at least 5 different performances. Pippin's one of them, so I'm excited. Yeah, and I don't know if there's anything, please ask me questions, because I don't know if I covered what I need to cover.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you. I talk faster as I get nervous. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to clarify one thing
Yes,
about
please.
weather, because since we're talking about January,
Yes.
it seems
We're
to
later this year.
read that they are doing this regardless of the weather because it's an indoor event.
Correct.
And so the question would come is if we're not comfortable sending our students,
Right.
so, or they ended up going late, do you have any idea what, if anything, there is a refund policy if we make the decision they can't attend?
I can check into that. I know that they do have, conferencing. I know that it hasn't been an issue yet. Now, I said that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. Usually we go, and it's funny because we're going later this year. So January, it is, there is a difference because we usually go, I think, in December. So it is a little bit later than it normally is. I can definitely look into that for you. But yeah, I'm sorry, off the top of my head,
No,
do
I
not know.
understand that. I just want to make sure we clearly communicate to the parents.
Okay,
Since there is money involved here
Yes.
in terms of what that situation looks like. And-
Yes.
And we will hope that the weather's perfect,
got it.
but if the weather's not, we're gonna prioritize student safety, and if that means we send them up late, or, whatever we have to do, we'll make those decisions when we get to the weather. But I just wanna make sure we know what those decisions are
Yes.
and the ramifications before we get there.
Okay, deal.
So if you'll look that information up,
Yeah.
send that to me, I can communicate that.
That was a great.
Perfect. I can do that. I will do that.
Thank you so much.
That's good. That's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
it.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sorry. Oh my God. We have clue practice going on, so make sure you come see
I do have 2 questions.
Yes, please.
Okay. Bus transportation.
Yes.
Is that our bus or a tour bus?
No, we do have a tour bus.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's no mention about how the students are paying for food or eating.
Oh, that's all supplied, I'm sorry, that is supplied through the Thespian Conference and college, and they do
So
provide
that's included in
vegetarian
the
and vegan.
registration fees?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's all part of it,
Thank
yes.
you.
Okay.
And I can, attest it is a great experience for the students.
Our kids have
and
been
the
going
staff.
for a long time.
A long time, yeah.
Long time, yeah.
So, I just appreciate that you guys continue to offer it to the students, and the weather's going to be
Yes, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna
Knock
start
on
with.
wood one more time.
Yes. Yes.
So, and then the last thing is to put in a plug for.
Oh yeah, we have Clue. Please come out this weekend. Actually, all the kids are over there right now. That's where I was before I came here. Clue is this weekend, 7 o'clock, Friday and Saturday night, and should be it's Clue based on the board game and the 1980s movie with Madeline Kahn, and it should be really fabulous. It's we're looking forward to it, and the kids are super excited, and so yeah, please, if you have an opportunity, come by and see it.
Bring your own candlestick out.
They've been working very, very hard, so yeah. So,
Thank
okay,
you.
and thank you.
Thank you.
This sounds like information.
Yeah, so we'll get that last bit of
Yeah, I'll send that over to you tomorrow. No
Okay,
problem.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So can we go back to or should we go on to the Barcelona?
We can go on to Barcelona.
Here. Hi, I also am a newbie, so.
Just not my
I
easiest.
do apologize for that ahead of time. I have, an itinerary in there as well, so if anybody's interested in looking at the itinerary of the trip. Hi, everybody. My name is Beth Detweiler. I am a teaching assistant over at North Middle School. I've been in Penridge 15 years and double that as a Penridge community person myself. We've lived in Penridge School District for 32 years. 2 girls graduated from Penridge. They're doing fantastic, both nurses, so Penridge did a good job for us. That's all I can say. Yes, I am here to present a trip to Barcelona, Madrid for a student trip. It is not until next summer, which would be June of 2021. If you look at my dates, that is pretty much set. I know some companies will give you a fluctuation of a 4-day here or there. Mine, I can pretty much set in stone at this point. And I know our school calendar is changing a little bit because we will be starting before, am I correct on that? All right, thank you. We'd be starting before Labor Day, so my date should be pretty well safe. I mean, if we do see anything changing, I then do have the flexibility of changing my date for that. I am going through Explorica. I myself have been a chaperone on 2 different international trips. One was to Ireland, England, and Wales, and the other one was to Australia. I am picking up another trip this summer to Central Europe, which is a non-Penridge sponsored trip. This being a sponsored trip, that's why I'm here in front of you today. So it pretty much is self-explanatory as far as the itinerary. We aren't going to be missing any school days. That's definite. There's no cost to Penridge. It comes out of, obviously, the traveler's pocketbooks. The cost of the trip is $3,800. That pretty much includes everything you're looking for, even my tipping. I've been on some trips where, the head person is dealing with handing the money with the tip money. I'm not getting involved with that. I even collect the tip money up front, and that is handled through Explorica. That's kind of divvied out to wherever it needs to be divided up and whatnot. My ratio that I'm going with is probably a little lower than some. Most are 6-to-1. I'm going 5-to-1. Nor do I want a huge trip. That's not my intention. I would like probably 20 to 25 kids. To keep it small, that would be 5 adults to 25 kids. Okay? The families, they do have the option of doing their own fundraising. How that works is, if I have a child going on that particular trip, Explorica has it set up on their website. If grandma and grandpa want to give me money, they can actually apply that to my trip. So that's kind of like a giving page. They're not searching out in front of anybody else. It's people just coming in and giving it to them that way. As far as going backwards here, the only thing that would not be covered under this would be the transportation to and from the airport. And that would be determined cost-wise. We would probably like rent a bus or something. That way everybody would be going together. Everybody would be there for me, that I know no stragglers coming in or what have you. And that expense would be divvied up according to the number of passengers that we would have for that particular trip. Explorica, the company itself, has been in business for many, many years. They have 45 different operating centers throughout the 6 continents, 6 of the continents. They have over 60 years, 50 years, it's over 50 years of business that they have been dealing with. Other than that, I think we pretty much have it there. Safety, they have it. I even have how they run their safety protocol. It's pretty much, if anybody's interested in seeing that as well. Everything, obviously, their first priority is my safety, my kids' safety. They're not going to put us in harm's way. You know, if there's an issue in the location that we're planning on going to, they would pull us out or redirect me into another trip if it would happen prior. So that's pretty much set, you know, across the board that way. But does anybody have any questions?
The in-country guides too.
What's that?
In-country guides,
Yes, they have the in-country guides, yes. They're all,
food.
yep. There you go.
Mine's easy. On your proposal, you have the cost to each student is $38.39,
Correct.
and it indicates in the cost section that trip insurance isn't part of that $38.39,
That it's not.
but it is not. Right. So
I
it's
always,
just
I will make that mandatory.
I
That is
understand.
something, it's a matter of,
Understand, but I don't want the students to be misled.
no. I will update everything from the time, I had this set a few months back. So if anything has changed financially, no, that is up front. I put everything up front for everybody. It's a matter of, I can literally click that button to make sure that everybody, it's mandatory that everybody has the travel insurance.
Yep.
I would not go without the travel.
No, you can't.
No.
International.
No, not at all.
Was all of the travel that you've done has been with all of those things that you listed? Was it with Explorica? I'm not
It was
sure if
with
you-
EF Tours.
So
And I'm
you-
actually very curious. The reason I'm going with Explorica, I spoke to another mother that happened to have kids on an EF Tours trip with me, who runs an awful lot of trips through Quakertown School District. She herself has used both EF Tours and Explorica. She preferred Explorica because of their tour guides. So now I'm curious. I've been on EF Tours, so now I want to make my own decision whether I prefer the Explorica or EF. Because you do have the option. You can go elsewhere. You know, it's a business. You can go, excuse me, if I'm not happy with Explorica and I felt as if what I experienced with EF, you know, was a better experience for everybody involved, that's the direction I would go then. But,
So Quakertown has a good amount of experience with this company?
oh my goodness, yes. I think she does 2 trips a year. She does. I know she does a summer trip and she does like over the holiday. Usually they allow her to take the kids out. I think it's over like the Easter break or something like that.
Alright,
But
so
yeah, she's done many years with Explorica.
As long as they're reputable, and then,
Slipped your mind.
but this is, oh, that's my other question, so you want to limit it to 20 or 25 students?
Yeah, I don't want to fill a bus. It's too many kids, in my personal opinion. So I like to go a little smaller, so it basically would be first come, first serve.
Okay, so there wouldn't be a situation like with GAP, the German one that the high school does.
Okay?
They have an application and they kind of read.
Right, you can actually
first
do
come, first served.
recommendations, like
Yeah.
teacher recommendations and everything.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make it first come, first serve. Feel free.
Gotta approve.
I've never,
Monday night.
I'm jumping the
Saturday,
gun.
yes, make sure we sign them up.
You know I love a trip, so I just have to ask everybody else if there's any other questions that
I
you
have
have. I love the opportunities. Do you have a comment?
I have a concern more than a comment. Your rationale for the trip is travel is education, and then
Then I have the other.
right. I mean, I feel like the rationale for the trip. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer because I'm all about travel. I get it. I understand that travel in and of itself is
So
education.
no, tell me what your concern is.
But I
then.
feel like the rationale itself is somewhat weak and not tied necessarily to an educational experience that's articulated clearly.
I think articulation and what these kids will experience, they'll learn so much more from education than I think anything else really. I mean, we have a fantastic education system that we've got going on, but until these kids actually go out and experience the world, I mean, personally, I find that's education to me, personally. And you know what, maybe that's my own personal feeling on that. So that's my own rationale for that.
Well, I mean, so I'm seeing that, well, they're not gonna miss any,
No school days are missed.
no, right. So they could be going to Barcelona or, Greece or wherever, and the rationale's consistent across all of the, in other words, I can change the destination and your rationale is the same. I don't mean to be difficult, I'm sorry.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure.
So if we're going to Barcelona, are we learning about,
of course,
certain
the
types
culture.
of, the
You learn about
culture,
the culture,
and
you
how does
learn
that
about
tie
the
into
food.
something else then? So I guess I'm always looking for how does one extrapolate their experience from their experience and then tie that then to tangible, everyday experiences.
If it's a student that's taking Spanish,
Right, what if it's a student not taking Spanish?
that- then maybe that would draw.
Interject.
Interject,
These aren't tied to the curriculum.
No,
Right,
these are not
so
right.
So it's just an experience.
They're
It's a-
tied to the curriculum.
It's an
This is just
experience,
opportunity.
but it's an educational experience is what
Okay.
I'm trying to get across.
Just a world
that-
experience then, basically.
Well, and I think what we talked about the last time too, when we approved the New Zealand trip, was that some kids that might come from families where they don't go on trips and they don't get out much, it's an opportunity when there's something on the calendar that's 2 years from now, that a child that might not get out of Pennsylvania gets an opportunity to go out and experience another
Okay.
part of the world that their mom and dad aren't gonna be able to take the whole family on, but
Okay.
then they get an opportunity. So I think it's okay that it's broad, because you can be in different situations in different cities, and you might get something more from Barcelona than I would.
That's what
But I
my
think
point is.
being
We
away
all
from
take something
purposely.
different away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
actually
exactly
like the first sentence. When I got the travel is education, because I believe that completely. I believe
That was
anywhere
my
you
own
go
feeling,
is
so.
educational, because you can tell them, I mean, even something as simple as we have to be in this city, and we have to take the train, help figure out how you're going to get there.
Right.
They're simple things, but they are educational.
Right.
And I think this follows with probably with all the other, things. I think the German trip is really the only one that is really tied to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And these
right,
are
so,
more cost effective too, right?
I
Because the
think-
numbers, the cost of,
Well, at least it's
yeah,
so far in
I
advance.
think
Well, and they
that
can
that's-
save for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
And they
I
break
think the price looks pretty good. I
They
mean,
break that down monthly, so it's easier on the parent's pocketbook. That they can, if it's broken down into, the further out you book that trip with the kids, so if your kids are signing up now, you have how many months to break that up? As opposed to if you, if I do it 6 months from now, that's 6 less months that they actually have to break that trip cost up. So it becomes a little bit more, financially doable for a lot more people by how they have it broken up.
I just have a question about the
Sure.
cost.
Yes,
Because the paperwork we have has past dates on it.
correct.
And I know that's because what you have to negotiate with them.
Right.
So it cites, it has that price of $3,800.
Right,
But then it says that's a $200 discount, you've got to sign up by the end of September. Well, obviously, we're not there,
No,
so I'm
avoid that.
assuming-
that will be regenerated.
And did I hear you say that trip insurance has to be added into that cost?
Yes,
So it
that's
will be more than that.
$120.
So it is going to be just under $4,000.
It'll be under
for the
$4,000, correct.
So it'll be about $39.59 is what you're saying?
That is correct.
For the students. I just wanna make sure we're
Sure.
approving